Okay, world is shivering now. World is shivering now. The way China and United States they are making a war now. There is a war going on between Russia and Ukraine. There is a war going on between Israeli forces and Hamas forces. But these wars are looking dwarf in front of China and America trade war. The way trade war has started, who is number one in the world? That is the war that has started. America was always one in the world in manufacturing area. And when you are manufacturing items and you are able to sell it around the globe, then certainly you are the trade master. And America has been a trade master. America has been an economic power, the largest economic power. Still, the American GDP is the highest in the sense it is around $30 trillion, whereas Chinese GDP is around $20 trillion. But still, the biggest issue is happening. The largest manufacturer in the world right now is China, not America. 35% of net industrial manufacturing is happening in China, not in America. So, in that sense, China is number one manufacturer in the world. Right now, the number one manufacturer in the world is China, not America. America desperately trying to get that place. In that sense, Donald Trump, whatever path he is taking, it is it is something that should be kind of people are thinking about it. The path he is taking, because if you become number one manufacturer of the item, then you will be number one again in the export. China is number one exporter in the world. Her $3.5 trillion is the China export globally, whereas America export $3 trillion. It is much less than China, $0.5 trillion less than China. So what path America is taking that people are understanding? Tariff high, both are raising their tariff. When America is raising the tariff, China is raising the tariff. When China is raising tariff, America is raising the tariff. America is in mood that Chinese companies should come to America and they will start investing in America, raise their company, so that the manufacturing power of America will grow, people will get job there, and in that sense, America will get the sales taxes and those things, and everything will be green everywhere. Anyway, the concept is happening that this is what is the triggering point. What triggers the manufacturing? The science triggers the manufacturing. If you have higher science than your counterpart, then your manufacturing will grow because people will like your product. If you are manufacturing if you are manufacturing one bulb, and other country is manufacturing bulb, and both bulb has different quality, and your bulb is growing more than that bulb, certainly people would go with you. Then rather than increasing your manufacturing power, you have to increase your science. Science triggers their manufacturing because your product science, people like the science that is in your product. So if China manufacturing is very high, in that sense, Chinese technology is higher than America right now. And this is not absorbed by Americans and American president. That China is away from America as far as technology is concerned. Anyway, in that sense, everything what America has, China has, and in better way. Better way in a sense that America has, I believe, for the past 20 years, more or less, America has been sending the lander rover on the Mars. And China started this operation around 2011 along with Russia. That Russia was sending a kind of lander, not the rover. There are three things. One is called satellite. You send a satellite around the Mars, and satellite will rotate the Mars. That is one thing. Second thing is lander. Lander will go and it will land on the Mars and it will start sending signal to the this is Mars. This is Mars, this is Earth. I'm sorry. This is Earth and this is Mars. And someone is sending a satellite to the Mars. Satellite will go and it will rotate around the Mars. Then one lander will come, it will land on the Mars and it will send signal to the satellite. Through satellite, someone will receive signal on the Earth. This is called lander. There is a third thing called rover. One robot will come out of the lander and it will go on the Martian surface and it will start walking. That is called rover. So Russia has sent satellite around the Mars. Russia has sent lander on the Mars. So along the this lander mission of the Russia, the China had sent its lander or rover whatever. So it started in around 2000 around 2011 only. I believe in 2020, 2020. I have written it. I don't remember it. 2020 time frame, China it started its own mission on its own shoulder called Tianwen 1. So Tianwen was a Mars mission from China where satellite was there, where lander was there, and rover was there. Zhurong was the rover, and this mission was called Tianwen mission. And Tianwen mission was successful, and satellite started rotating around the Mars. One lander, it went and it got dropped or it got landed on the Martian surface. So China became third country to land a rover on its own on the Martian surface after United States and Russia. Then, then China, the Zhurong rover, it came out of the lander and it started moving on the Martian surface. Then China became number two country to move a rover on the Mars, and Zhurong was communicating to the satellite that is rotating around the Mars, and through that it is communicating on the Earth China space station. Okay, that is the second. Third thing is that China did this successful mission in the first go only. America tried few times before its rover started moving on the Mars. Earlier it was failing. Whereas China did in first time. So China became number one country in the world which moved the rover on the Martian surface in the first go only. Okay, here is China ahead of America. Chinese technology is ahead of the America that you tried first time only and your rover started moving. You cannot say you copied from Russia because Russia has never tried moving rover on the Mars. In that sense, China did on its own and China became number one country in the Martian technology in the sense in the first go only it did it. I have some data. So if you are ahead of someone in technology, then your product will be liked. If your product is liked, then purchase will be more. If purchase is more, you will tend to do manufacturing, and your manufacturing grows in that fashion. When if people are not buying American products, means the science through which it is developed, the people are receiving that product, it has lesser science. In that sense, demand will be less. In that sense, productivity will be less. Now, America is trying that Chinese companies, the quality is high. Now, Chinese companies should invest in America only. So that this is called shortcut method. Anyway, we are talking about Tianwen. So, China National Space Administrator (CNSA), similar to NASA, NASA, CNSA, it started Tianwen interplanetary mission into Mars. Okay, six spacecraft were sent and they were sent on the 23rd July 2020. It is analogous to the kind of Perseverance rover that was sent on the Mars from the America. And Perseverance rover was sent from the July 30th, 2020. So America sent a Mars mission on July 30th, 2020, and then the rover started rovering on February 18th, 2021. 5 days before that, China sent a mission 7 days before that, 23rd July 2020, at Tianwen mission. And there, their satellite started revolving the Mars on 10th February on 10th February 2021, where America was February 18th, and the rover started moving on 14th. I'm sorry. Okay, then lander. So it. I'm sorry. I'll state it again. So 23rd July 2020, China Tianwen mission is launching. 10th February 2021, the satellite is rotating around the Mars. On 14th May 2021, 14th May, 10th February, satellite started rotating. On 14th May 2021, the lander is landing on the Mars. And 28th May, after 22nd May, after 8 days, their Zhurong rover is coming out of it, and then it is it is roaming around. So that is from the China. So China, Zhurong rover and Perseverance rover of the America, they are roaming on the Mars since the same time only. Anyway, that is the Zhurong rover. Okay, it matched the capability of Perseverance because Perseverance is the first satellite, first rover which is sending the audio of the wind. That Zhurong was also sending the audio of the wind. Now, Perseverance had a helicopter ingenuity also, where Zhurong did not have any helicopter. Anyway, Zhurong stopped working in December 2022. Its idea was 3 month mission, 90 days mission, but it worked for more than 1 year. So it went till December 2020. This is considered as marvelous and genuine, very high quality because in first go only, a rover worked there for more than 1 year. That was, I believe, 350, around 1 year, 350 days, 8 days. It worked out there. December, they put the rover into sleep May 2022, looking at very winter of the on the Mars at that point, and they tried to take out from the sleep in the December 2022, but it did not come out of the sleep. It is considered that May 2022 only till it worked. So 358 days, 1 year it worked, where the aim was 3 months only. Where American Perseverance, it is still working. The idea was for the one, it went there for the around 2 years, 2 Earth years, and now more than 4 years it is working. One thing. Second thing is their Ingenuity helicopter is not working. It worked till 2024 only. Their Ingenuity helicopter. Anyway, the Zhurong rover is around 240 kilogram, whereas Perseverance rover is around 3,640 kilogram. 3,640 kilogram. This is 240 kilogram. That's it. Anyway, Perseverance walked for 223 kilometers, whereas Zhurong walked for 2 kilometers. First go, this much they could achieve. Now, people would say that the Perseverance rover, and prior to that, they had Curiosity and many rovers. So, America is doing Mars exploration for past 15 years and so, where China has just entered kind of 5 years back, then certainly America is ahead. Certainly not. Why America is not ahead? Because China prior to 2010, China was mere developing country. The way it is ramping up the speed, velocity, acceleration, what China is showing that with that in 2010, China was nowhere in front of America. But from there, if America was here, China was here. But the way it has started accelerating, now it is crossing America, where $0.5 trillion is the more export of China than America. So it is crossing the America in artificial intelligence sector, that is considered as the most pioneer in the field of science and technology. There, China is ahead of America. In Mars space mission, China is ahead of America. Everywhere it is ahead of America. Tianwen mission is Zhurong rover. It showed the capability. It is ahead of Perseverance rover. Now, in that sense, now people are expecting high from China now. Now, Tianwen 2 is scheduled for the May 25th. This is April, May 25th. Tianwen 2 will go. And in lower Earth orbit, there are asteroids are there. If this is Sun, this is Moon, this is Earth, this is Sun, this is Earth, this is Mars. Between Mars and Jupiter, there is an asteroid belt. That is true. But between Sun and Earth, there is an asteroid belt also. 27,000 asteroids are there. They are rotating Sun. Okay, they are going far from the Sun and they come back and they make a rotation before the Earth only, in between Earth and Sun only. There are many asteroids like this. So Tianwen 2 mission will be to study some particular asteroid. Tianwen 3 that will be launched in late 2029. Tianwen 3 that will go to the Mars and it will collect sample from there and it will come back in 2030-31 time frame. Later Tianwen 4 will go and it will revolve around the Jupiter. So that is the concept of the China. People would say that there is a Voyager uh, spacecraft rocket. It went from the America that went ahead of the Pluto also. I'm saying China is ramping up very high speed. In that sense, if it is able to send in 4 5 years that will rotate it on Jupiter, that will be also a big deal. There is no failure of the China. That is the big thing. Whatever it is doing, it is amazing. If it started with artificial intelligence software, it is world leader like TikTok. It is world leader. Whatever it is putting hand on, it is highly successful and highly. In that sense, everyone is shivering now because the world is becoming other way. Now, if that is going on, there is no days now when China's currency will be de facto currency around the world as far as the trade is concerned. Now, Brazil and Ecuador they will trade in yuan. America and Canada they will trade in the yuan because the technology of China will be far ahead of America. Anyway, time will see because everything depends upon how much you are working because mind is everyone's mind is same how much you are taking out of it with your labor. If Chinese people are doing like this, then it is up to the responsibility of American people that they should work more to become number.